What up? What up? What up?
Hey, what? Okay.
Do me a favor. You read this to me.
He who has felt the deepest grief is best able to experience the supreme happiness. We must have felt what it is to die, that we may appreciate living.
On your knees. After years of oppression, unfair oppression, sweet revenge.
All right.
Yeah.
What up? What up? What up, party people?
What's up, people? Welcome to the watch party on the Hitless Network. I'm your boy as a Kiwi.
And I'm Lydia.
I'm your boy Brian St. John.
I'm your girl Lorena. Hello.
All right, welcome. Well, it's an Emmy night. I said, let me put on some Emmy attire since we never get to dress up.
Look at you. Okay.
You know, just the top half. I'm completely Atticus, bottom down.
Enough. Just let the memory, the image of you in a full suit soak into everybody.
Yo, what up?
What's up?
What's going on?
Yo, it's so good to be back together. I feel like I haven't seen you all together in a long time. What's up? What's popping, Lydia? What's going on?
I missed y'all.
Yeah, I missed y'all too. I missed you, Brian. I missed you, Lorena. You know, it's good to have us all together. You know, it's Sunday night. And, you know, we got things. We got things to talk about. Lots of things.
Party crew.
Well, okay, she got a theme song going. Okay.
All right. Y'all had a good weekend?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I've been off for a week, so just had a restful, relaxing vacation. You know, wish I could staycation. I wanted to go away, but you know, we in COVID times, so
nice.
Yeah, ladies. You know, it's a lot going on. It's been busy. You know, just Friday we the world experienced the loss in the notorious RBG, and you know, it's just been nonstop with just kind of the ripple effects of us losing her, and now what's going on with them trying to fill her seat and people not following what they said they was gonna do, you know. But yes, it's a lot going on. It's a lot going on.
Yeah, very serious times.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a couple of things I just wanted to highlight. Of course, like I said a moment ago, it's the Emmys tonight, hosted by Jimmy Kimmel. And it's the first time it's being done virtually. And I started watching it at the top of the hour, 8 o'clock. And it's kind of different. It seems like the whole show is being dedicated to
the comedy.
Yeah. It's just like,
because I was watching it too briefly, and then I'm like, I just saw they just got an award. They got like 4 awards.
Yeah. It seems like it's the whole thing. So after this, I'm going to go and Rice the Rewind. But kudos to our brother D Nice. He is hosting the musical part of the Emmys, which is phenomenal.
Okay.
Like his reign during this pandemic is still going on. I love it. And you know, he's like co-hosting. So I'm so happy and glad to see him. His win is our win.
Yeah.
He's making bank right now.
He's making bank.
Yeah, good for him.
A couple other things I just wanted to highlight that is going on. This weekend coming up is the Urban World Film Festival. It's on the 23rd through the 27th this year, along with everything else. It's virtual. So instead of going to the theaters, you just log on to urbanworld.org to register, which is really cheap. Day pass, weekend pass. You can see like over 90 films. I'm going to be in there all this week because, you know, I go there every year. So I'm going to continue, even though it's virtual.
Okay.
What else? Oh, and I wanted to highlight Antebellum, Janelle Monáe's movie that just came out on streaming platform on Friday, and it's phenomenal. If you all get a chance to see it, it's called Antebellum, starring Janelle Monáe, and it is a must-see. It's very good. And that's something of new and something of old, classic. Lydia, you got me inspired to dig in the crates and go pull out something new. I mean, old. And so I had to go dig up my favorite movie of all time, The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh.
I knew you was gonna do it eventually.
Oh my gosh. And so I wasn't into your film, but I had to dig up my film, and it still hits me. It's so corny, it's so cheesy. It you know, if you just watch it blindly, you're gonna think it's terrible, it's garbage, but it still holds a certain place in my heart. Like, I got emotional, I'm cheering, I'm laughing, I'm crying. You know, the movie came out in 1979, starring Julius Erving, Margaret Avery from Color Purple. Who else? Astaka Channing from Grease, and a host of Debbie Allen. I think Debbie Allen met her husband Norm Nixon on that film. It's just phenomenal. If you ever get a chance to watch, you can just pull it up on Amazon Prime. It's called The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh. That's it.
I've never heard of it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow, really? Yeah.
And it's like, it's so musical. The whole score and soundtrack was produced by the legendary Tom Bell. And so it has the classic music of the 70s. And so I used to watch it every year as a child on Channel 5. And so I had to watch it tonight. But that's it. All right. Let's jump into Lovecraft.
Yes.
Who got the recap?
Yeah, so this is episode 6, Meet Me in Daegu. I think that's how it's pronounced. In the throes of the Korean War, nursing student Gia crosses paths with a wounded Atticus. So with this, and we'll get into it, but just briefly, with this episode, we are now getting into the backstory of the Asian girl Gia and Atticus, what their backstory is.
Woo! Okay. This damn show. All I can say is this damn show. Because to call it a roller coaster is an understatement. You don't know where you're going to go every single week with this show. And they did it to us again. They showed us a little preview from last episode of what we're going to expect, but I had no clue. I didn't know what, I didn't know what to expect. I'm just like, okay, let me just buckle up, sit back, get my popcorn, and just take it all in. Oh my God, this episode. Who wants to kick it off? Let's just, the setting is we're in the war. It's the 1950s, Korea. Is it Korea? Korea.
South Korea.
South Korea. And, we're in a hospital where all of the wounded soldiers go. And anybody want to kick it off from there?
So Gia, she's a nurse in this makeshift, this hospital where they bring the wounded soldiers. And so the Americans come in and, they're here to help the fight or whatever. And Gia meets Atticus in a really messed up situation. So they're there to fight communists. They gather up all of the nurses that are working a particular shift, and they're saying, hey, we think there's a communist spy amongst you because information is coming out of the hospital that shouldn't be. So it's Gia and her best friend from the hospital too that are in that lineup. And they proceed to go down the line, and one nurse gets shot and the next nurse gets shot. And they're looking at Gia are you, who's the communist or who's a spy? And Gia's best friend jumps in front of her to say, no, it's me. Atticus comes up, knocks her out. They take her, and they kill her, but they take her away or whatever. And so that's the first interaction with Gia and Atticus. And then it just kind of plays out from there. But I want to say one thing to what you were saying, Sid, about how you never know with this show episode to episode. So the last episode, we were speeding down the like we were going 100 miles an hour, and then they just slow it down for this episode. Like slow it down. I love how they do that. Like this was the perfect time to introduce this story, and it's like it's just falling in line, because I think if they waited another episode, we would have been like, what the hell? Like what's that all about? It's perfectly timed. So it's like, and they slow down the story to tell it, appropriately or whatever. So I like how they did that.
I love it. Brian gets so easily distracted. Brian, what you think?
Hey, it was funny to me. I mean, I appreciated the story. It felt a little notebookish to me, but it was cool.
Oh my God.
I mean, I agree. It's always a roller coaster. And like I said last week, I loved it. This is where it's been going for me. Love the first one. The second one, I'm like, eh. Then the third one comes in. I like that one. Then this one, I'm like, eh. So I have my peaks and valleys too with the show.
Lorena, what you think?
So at first I was like, where are we going with this? Because I was like, I didn't understand until they revealed a little bit more about Jiha, what she was. Because I kept thinking, like, when her mother said you got to bring home a man, I'm like, oh,
men.
She said, but no, but she was like, you got to bring somebody home. And I was like, oh, this is real forward. This don't seem like Asian culture. And I was trying to figure out, like, with the dating scene, like, what was happening. And, did you notice that, what's her name? Jiha?
Jiha.
Her friend liked her.
Yeah,
I got that.
Yeah, I got that from the slow hand touches.
Touching on the hand.
Definitely got that.
It's okay.
It was much more clearer than P Valley was.
She was like, it's okay to be different, girl.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. Yes, it is okay to be different. But I didn't get who Jiha was until the first sex scene. And then I was like, because there's always a monster or something monstrous that happens in these episodes, right? Mm-hmm. So we're always waiting for that monster. But I thought
that and Atticus always having his shirt off. So
yes.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Can we talk about he has the best job in TV?
Yo,
when he got this role, he must have been like, yes.
Yeah,
I haven't missed the episode with him shirtless yet.
He's like, no, this is the role.
I love it. I be waiting for the wife beater or the shirt off. Like, come on, Atticus.
Yo,
come on.
But it's like, and they took us someplace else because really the whole movie was done. I mean, I said movie. The whole episode was done.
Felt like a movie.
It felt like a movie.
Right, with subtitles. I was like,
the Notebook.
Yeah, yes, just like the Notebook. Yeah,
just like a lot of films.
I keep calling out the Notebook because I never cared for that movie and I didn't understand why people love it so much.
Okay.
Anyway, this was the first time for me I ever seen, and call me naive, I don't think I've ever seen an Asian love scene before.
Or Asian man butt naked.
Not like that.
Not like that.
Not even like that. I don't remember seeing one before.
No, never.
Two Asian people, I don't remember. So when I'm watching it, I'm like, this is new.
I'm trying to think.
Not in a mainstream show. Maybe if it's just a full Asian cast and it's an Asian directed show, but not in a mainstream.
I haven't seen it in a non-main. I haven't seen it in porn. I haven't seen it anywhere.
Yeah, but you don't order Asian porn.
You don't know what I order.
Well, okay. Well, if you order it, then you would see it.
Yeah, you would see it.
You would see it.
You ordered it.
That's what porn is, nudity.
We have gone off the
rails. Break down the porn category. Let's take a left turn. Break down the porn categories. This is Watch Party After Dark.
I guess. Go ahead, Sid. Break down the
No,
category.
I'm asking her.
Don't ask me. Don't ask me what
I just said I haven't seen it, and so you're like, well, you haven't seen.
If you watch porn, Asian porn, you will see it because pornography is nudity. They're naked. So
I haven't seen Asian porn.
Right. So then let's keep going. Stay on the road, Sid. Don't drive off.
That's my whole point in saying that this was new to me. I'm just like, wow.
Okay.
You know, this show always breaks new ground.
It does. You're right.
And Heather was right. Heather says memories of the geisha. There was a very intimate sex scene.
I don't know. I don't know what that is.
I saw that. I don't remember. So
I don't know what that is. Like that. Okay. I don't remember a love scene.
That 5 times.
Right.
And I was about to move on, but you're bringing me back. I don't know what that is. So, I don't remember a love scene in Joy Luck Club, which is my favorite movie.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I don't remember that either.
When she brought him to the room and they started getting naked, I was like, is the Asian man getting naked too? I was like, they showed his butt. I was like,
I don't
like again, like definitely keeping it going. Just like y'all talked on Thursday about the last episode, but just like in the last episode with the father, with Montrose.
Oh yes,
and his love scene, I mean, it's equal opportunity.
And again, last week I didn't know there was drag in the 50s. I'm learning something new every episode. Tony Graves okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Tanya Graves. She said Asians also participate in X-rated movies too. Yes,
that's what we were saying.
Tanya. I didn't say they didn't. I just said I haven't seen it. I didn't say it doesn't exist.
Tanya, send him the link.
You ain't gotta send me the link. I just watched it. I just watched it.
No, for the X-rated. Send him the link, Tanya.
No, you send it to me.
I don't got it.
Show you.
Okay.
Off the rail.
Okay. Back on the
way off the road.
Okay, back on the road. Let's talk about this monster, this myth, this legend. Like, I'm blown away. You know, she is okay. Is that her mom or her surrogate mom? Or is that really her mom?
That's her mom.
That's really her mom.
That's really her mom. Yeah.
And
that is her mom.
From what I can piece together from just watching it, the mother made a deal with the entity for what purpose? To get away from her father, her abusive father? Or what was the reason for this deal?
She was getting revenge. That creature is a creature that gets revenge on men who have done horrible things. So what we learned is that this man preyed on the mother, who was a single mother who had a child out of wedlock, because he wanted to do nasty things to the child.
The daughter.
Got you.
And he must have killed the daughter because, unless the creature is possessing the daughter.
Yes, that's what I took it as. That the creature or whatever it is has now overtaken.
And taken the body of the daughter.
Right. And the mother made the deal because she's like, it brought disgrace to the family. So she's like, we have to atone for that by making these sacrifices or whatever, bring these men home so my daughter can return back to me.
So her soul can come back into the body of the. Got you.
The first man that was killed was the husband.
The father.
Right. Yes. Was the father who was raping the daughter.
Right.
Okay.
That's why she can see his memory. She absorbs the I want to call it Kamichi, but it's not the Kamichi. I forgot the name of it.
It sounds similar to that, though.
Yeah, but it absorbs the
essence, the soul.
It sees the past memories and the future.
Right.
Gotcha.
Of the person that it kills.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
I loved it.
Deep.
Deep. Yeah, no, I loved it. And like, again, it felt like a standalone film. It felt like we were just watching a separate show not Lovecraft, but we just tuned on a Netflix movie. And I loved it. You know, even way before we even got to Atticus, you know, we're deep into her story and her background. And she was, again, this was the first scene that we saw in Lovecraft in episode 1 when Atticus is on the bus and he's daydreaming, reading, and he envisions UFO, and this Asian woman comes down dressed in all red or painted in red or blood, and she's the alien. So now we get the backstory of who she is from his memory.
Right.
Yeah.
And so it gave us a great backstory on Atticus. And again, the show has a thing about virginity. And the first time, so now we learn that Atticus, did Atticus lie, or did he really a virgin?
No,
he was a virgin.
Yeah,
he was a virgin.
He was. But I wonder what the focus is with that.
They make such an emphasis on it, right?
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's interesting.
Maybe it connects to the garden with Adam and Eve, virginity. I don't know.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe, in some way. Because she was like, I'm not a virgin.
Straight up.
Clearly.
Clearly. Oh, I'm not.
Clearly.
So we could still do this. You know what I mean? It was just so interesting.
Yeah, she gave him that eyes looking up and down like, really? So, but she, she broke him in.
And just on a side note, what do you think of the Judy Garland reference? The film opens up, I keep calling it the film, but the movie opens up with Judy Garland from Meet Me in St. Louis, and that's what the title plays off of, and it's her obsession with Judy Garland, and so she was like a side character in the whole episode. I
couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure that one out.
Yeah, I never saw that film, so I couldn't tell you what that movie is about.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it before. I've seen both. Yeah, I've seen the film before, but I don't. Not to say like, oh, this is the reference.
Right.
To it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know what the reference is to that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Any highlights from the episode stand out to you, Brian?
Yeah, what was shocking was how her best friend got killed. When they lined all of the women up and they were trying to find out who was a communist. And, it takes you to the military because that's really how it is out there. It's cold-blooded.
You have to turn into a different person.
Yeah, you have to shut all your emotions and feelings off. And, that scene was a good scene. It was heavy, so... Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely like with the whole nurses lining up scene, and I was like, it actually threw me off when he just like boom killed the first one. I was like, that's what we doing?
That's what we doing.
I know.
That's what we doing.
To the second one, and the blood spatter from the second one got right onto Jen, and I was just like,
that's what we doing.
And then in my head, I was like, this must have been how it was.
It's war. We just saw him in the Five Bloods. We just saw that.
Right.
In the Korean War.
But it was very shocking for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that they were doing it to women, like nurses. Right. These nurses were also helping American soldiers. So that's why it's like healing them. Right. So it's like, wait. So that you just gonna murder just like that? Like that was
they weren't human beings. This was the job. So you're not looking at them as people. They're just okay. The mission is your commander tells you to do X, Y, Z. Boom.
Oh yeah,
done.
No doubt. It was no doubt.
I really. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Lydia.
No, go.
I was gonna say I really felt the intense hatred that Jen had when she noticed that it was Atticus in the bed, the one that killed her friend.
Yes.
The look when she was standing, it reminded me of what was that the Asian horror film where the girl comes out the TV and she's just standing there with the
ring.
Black hair.
The ring.
Yes, the stare was so like she was just standing there like this. It was so like I could feel through the screen, like the TV screen, because that was some good acting. How much she hated that man and wanted him dead.
You felt
like.
It.
I mean, I felt it, and I just and it's interesting just to see the metamorphosis from the hatred she felt to the love she wound up feeling for him in the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because
That's the part that I was like, oh, wow. When they had the conversation, and she was like, yo, I was really about to kill you. I was coming for you, but you saved me. Because she's been told by her mom, you're not human. You're not real. You don't feel anything. No one's ever going to love you unless you do XYZ to become human. This is what her mom's been, telling her. She meets Atticus and she feels. So she's like, you saved me. I was like, oh my gosh.
In a matter of minutes, it went from hatred. This is one scene.
Yes.
You're standing out front on the base. It starts off with hatred.
Yes.
And then in seconds we see
into love.
Turns into love.
Well, the pivotal moment in terms of when Atticus really showed who he was when his friend Sung, I think it was his name, brought her to the little tent.
That was dope. That was fly.
And Atticus was standing there looking good with the flower.
That was fly.
And it was her favorite movie. Like that right there, she was like, because she didn't know what
but she was still
happen.
But even still, they watched the film and she was still willing to go through with it to kill him. She took him back to her lair and she was going to go through with it.
Yeah.
You're right.
Even though that was a hell of a move from him.
Right. I mean, that was so, again, just intense. The emotion. The fact that we can feel that, all of that in the space of like one scene, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I do want to highlight one thing. So Tanya Graves says in the comments.
Tanya is popping tonight.
I know, and I love it. She says, is her best friend truly dead? She appears in her visions during the last sex scene with Atticus. Atticus was pulling the friend's teeth out with pliers in that vision.
I think that was part of the scene when they were torturing her for
torturing her.
That's what I thought too.
Yes.
That's what I thought too. But I mean, that's a good like observation that I could see how someone could kind of see that. But I did think that it was just something that happened because Gia said that she can see past and future stuff or whatever. So that was very interesting.
Go ahead, Lorena. I see you thinking about something.
No, I was going to say with the mom and Jihad thought she could control her inner monster, but as she found out, she really couldn't. Because like her mom said, you are a monster. It's going to come out sooner or later.
Right.
And it did. I mean, there was a point to it. I was like, what?
Right.
She takes him back, and then all of a sudden, the monster's like, I'm about to get my own piece of this meal. Right.
So I want to take it back to the last episode in the last scene where Atticus calls her. And does anyone have any insight on the meaning of that? So he read the book, he transcribed the word die, and then he immediately I got it. Duh.
Go ahead,
oh my God.
Go ahead,
Gotcha. So then, because she prophesied him dying.
Yeah.
And so now he is at that point, like he's gone through so much in all these supernatural things. So now he's at the point, so he's just like, oh my God, I remember what she said. Let me call her to get more clarity because she saw my death. So let me call her to see what happens. Gotcha. Right. Okay. I had to talk it through.
And she said, don't go home.
Right.
Yeah.
She said, I told you. Because remember in another scene, when he called her, she was like, you went back home?
What scene?
In one of the other scenes, not the last scene. Remember?
Right.
Yes, go ahead.
Not the last episode. It was like the first time he had called her.
Yeah.
And she was like, you went back home?
Yeah.
And remember, he was in the room or his room or whatever. Yeah. It was like when he first came into town or something.
Okay.
It was real early.
Yeah.
And he called her. I don't even know why.
So he's been in contact with her the whole season?
Well, the last episode was the second time they showed that he called her. You know, that was the second time, if I'm not mistaken, right, Lorena?
Yep, it is right. Yeah.
So
they keep leaving her in.
Right. So that's why I was like, she had said to him the first time, like, hey, are you home? And I don't even remember what he said. And then the last episode was like, she was like, you know, she told him about, you know, I told you not to go home or something like that.
Yeah. And you know, the woman he fought in the mansion was her in his fantasy thing.
Yes.
When he fought in the mansion.
Yes.
The woman that he fought. Go ahead, Liv.
When they came out from the woods from fighting the monsters and they came upon the Christina and Williams mansion thingy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then remember they were having like visions. They were all separated. His vision was he was fighting an Asian woman.
That's her. That's her.
It was Jiha.
Yeah, that I knew that was her he was fighting.
Forgot.
Yeah.
Oh my God! There's so many things you have to pay attention to.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
So our wonderful producer made a point, and I want to say it. He said we were talking about Jiha being able to see past and future, but he said I thought that was the first time she saw the future because no one else had a future, and now I'm thinking about that.
Right.
That's
right.
I see, right.
Right, because she would kill them, and that would be there would be no future.
Yeah.
And she told the shaman or whatever we're calling the person in the all white at the end that I saw his death, but not at my hands.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
How is that possible? And she and that's when she, you know, burnt that little paper. And I was like, what's gonna happen with the paper? I didn't get that part. Somebody help me?
She's gonna see many more deaths. Like that's not the only death she's gonna see. She's gonna see many more deaths not by her hand.
Right.
So that's what she's trying to tell her.
Because that woman, I forget.
And I don't think she's taking any. I don't think she's taking any more souls either.
No, I don't think she's taking any more souls either.
And that woman said something about that.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I gotta watch it. I always watch the episodes twice.
Me too.
Because you miss stuff or whatever. But the woman said something to her about that when she said, hey, I saw his future. So I'm going to watch it again to catch what she said. But
because she said, is Atticus going to die?
Right.
And we didn't get an answer to that. Woo.
Yeah, so I don't know how you can not like this episode, Brian. It really baffles me.
Okay.
Like,
you know what's funny? There's so many people.
I am I, and you are you.
Yeah, I mean,
clearly.
I've been reading comments. People are kind of trying to really understand the show, and the way I look at it is, it almost reminds me of the X-Files. There's an underlying thread, but then it's different episodes. There's different things that pop up each episode, but you still are on the train going towards the same stop, the same ending. So when I turn on the show, I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna get. I don't have any expectations.
Yeah, I don't think it's a show that you can really judge in pieces.
Yeah.
I think once we come to the end of this train, then we look at the whole thing in its totality. Then you can really digest what the whole thing is. You know, I think seeing it piece by piece, because they go from so many different genres each week, where, you know, if you're not into Raiders of the Lost Ark, you're like, I don't like that episode. But if you're into monsters, you may really like this episode. So it really depends on, you know, your taste. But on that note, let's go around the room and let's judge this puppy. Lorena.
4.
Lydia.
4.
Brian.
3.
Oh, that's pretty good for not caring. I'll give it a 4. Yeah. Okay, Lovecraft. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. All right. That's Lovecraft.